Siskiyou Singers presents How to Use Jamulus on a Mac. I'm your host, Michael, and today we're going to go through a little guided tour of Jamulus and how you will use it during rehearsals with Siskiyou Singers. Note that this video assumes that you've already installed Jamulus. So if you haven't, go back to the previous video, which explains the steps you'll need to use to install Jamulus. So let's go. Now these are the things that you're going to need to successfully use Jamulus. First, a Macintosh computer, desktop or laptop. Jamulus cannot be installed on an iPad or iPhone. You have to have a computer. Second, a wired internet connection. This means connecting your computer to your internet modem, hub, or switch with an Ethernet cable. Wi-Fi is too slow and inconsistent for Jamulus. If you need help finding an Ethernet cable or an adapter, if you even need help finding your modem or your switch, let me know and I can help you out. Next, headphones. Now, sometimes the earbuds that you get with your phone will work just fine, but most people are finding that they have better luck with over-the-ear headphones. These are the kind that you see in recording studios, and you can get them from Amazon or Best Buy. You can spend as little as $15 or $20 for them, and that is all you really need. Don't spend a whole bunch on headphones. Just find something that's comfortable for you to wear during, say, a 90-minute rehearsal. And finally, you're going to want a microphone. Now, your iMac or your MacBook has one built in, and that's probably all you need. Some people like an external microphone, but that probably means that you're also going to need to buy a digital interface for your computer, and that gets pricey pretty quick. So for now, just assume that the microphone on your iMac or your MacBook is all you need. So to open Jamulus, go to the Applications folder. You'll probably find it on the left sidebar of an open Finder window. When you get to the Applications folder, if the applications are not in alphabetical order, click on Name, and that will alphabetize them. Then you can find Jamulus. If you double-click and get this message that Jamulus cannot be opened, click Cancel and do one of two things. Either right-click and hold and select Open, or Control-click and do the same thing. That will give you this dialog that tells you that you can open it if you're really sure, and you are. Click on Open, and Jamulus will open. The Jamulus interface may look intimidating at first, but it's not so bad once you get used to it. The first thing you want to do is look for the Connect button. That's how you connect to the virtual studio where all of the singers and Mark will be able to hear each other. Once you click that button, you may get this message, which asks if you want to accept incoming connections. Click Allow. Now the little window that opens here shows all of the virtual studios that are being hosted on Jamulus servers around the world. You only want one of them, and that's not going to be on this actual list. It's going to be a number that Mark will give you via email, and you'll type that number into this field where it says Server Address. And then click Connect. Jamulus may ask to use the microphone. Click OK. And then you'll probably get this window, which is a chat window. Now, we won't be using this much for chatting, but it does give you some information from Mark about things to remember when using Jamulus. Now, once you're connected to Jamulus, the screen will look something like this. Each of the columns is a separate singer who is connected to Jamulus. So you'll see some familiar names down at the bottom. One thing you'll want to do is type in your own name so it appears under your slider at the bottom of the window. To do that, go up to the View menu and choose My Profile, and then under Alias/Name, you can type your name. You don't need to worry about any of the other settings. These are sound sliders, which you can pull up and down to adjust the volume of each individual singer in your headphones. It won't affect the sound that Mark or other singers are hearing. And then there are controls above each person's name. The main one that you might wish to pay attention to is the mute button, which allows you to mute a singer if they are too loud or you're getting feedback. Over here in the lower left corner are some other controls. There's Mute Myself, which you can use when you're not singing. As people are singing, you'll see the little lights light up from bottom to top alongside their slider. This tells you how loud they are. They start at green at the bottom, and then they go to yellow and ultimately red. If a singer is hitting the red, that means too much sound is coming through. So you may wish to either pull the slider down or mute them if it doesn't sound good in your headphones. If Mark is hearing some long delays from your voice, or if there are other problems, he may ask you to open the settings on Jamulus. You do that just by clicking Settings, and you'll get this dialog box. And he may ask you about some of these numbers over here. We're not going to look at those now, but just be aware that if Mark asks you to open your settings, that's how you do it. Something else that Mark might ask you to do is to turn down your microphone. On the Mac, you do that by going up to the Apple menu and clicking on System Preferences. In the window that appears, look for the sound icon. It looks like a little speaker. Click on that. And then along the top here, you'll see three labels: Sound Effects, Output, and Input. Click on Input and make sure that the microphone that you're using is selected. And then here where it says Input Volume, you move this slider to adjust the volume. So if you're hitting the red zone in Jamulus, that means that your microphone is too loud. You just pull this slider to the left. Then quit System Preferences, and you're good. And then when the rehearsal is over, you click Disconnect, and you can quit Jamulus.